Ryan 150 Blue here. Today's subject is generations, duh. Now, if you don't know exactly what a generation is, here's a textbook definition. Oh, here we go. The act or process of bringing into being, production or reproduction, especially of offspring. A successful stage in natural descent of organisms, the time between when an organism comes into being and when it reproduces. The individuals produced at each stage. Alright, first of all, this dictionary is upside down. Second of all, this is not even a dictionary. So what the heck was I reading? Doesn't matter, but at least you get the drift. Now, generations don't only apply to human beings. I mean, why else do you think there were generations of PSPs and iPods and things like that? Speaking of which, the first subject is technology. We live in a generation where elderly people are not familiar with touchscreen devices, where parents will buy their little children iPhones and iPads, where people would spend hundreds of dollars on electronics that they don't even need, when they already have electronics that they don't even need. To all the elderly people, there is no excuse to not know how to use one of these. That's why it makes me so happy when I see an old person using one, because it goes to show me that there's hope for this generation. You may have been born in the 50s, 40s, or even 30s, but that doesn't mean anything. How do you think we got to know about it? By learning, and so should you. And although you might prefer other types of phones, that still doesn't mean you should know how to use one of these. So you either A, get your children or grandchildren to teach you, or B, teach yourself. Parents, maybe you should think not twice, but 3 times before going out and buying your children iPhones and iPads. Do you not realize the consequences? 1, you're spoiling them and not giving them a chance to learn discipline. 2, you're making them lazier because they're going to be on those more instead of outside enjoying nature. And 3, they're just going to want more and more. Then what? I'll tell you what, then you'll come to your senses and realize, wow, what a waste. Because children nowadays don't take care of their stuff. They leave their stuff out for other children to step on or break. Man, that's very protective. People, come on, spending hundreds of dollars on things you don't need when you already have things you don't need, it ain't worth it. You go and buy an iPod mini when you already have an Android tablet? Come on, what for? I mean, what's the point of buying both? Are they so different that you have to get each? I don't know, there must be a reason behind that. Subject 2, society. We live in a generation where you tell people yes nearly all the time, but the moment you say no, they don't like you anymore. Where parents curse right in front of their children, but get mad when their children curse. Where 13 and 14-year-olds pretend to be older than they are to either get into a relationship or to be accepted by older teens. Where people seek out fights simply because they're bored. Where people don't want to hang with you because you don't smoke, drink, abuse pills, party, or any of that extra nonsense. Where people don't want to listen to your ideas because they look at them as irrelevant. Where people take your things without asking and think it's okay. Where people consider you their friend, yet they only come to you when they need something. Sound familiar? The human tools. People get mad when you tell them no because they're so used to yes that they will not expect no. So you throw them off guard, leading them into a phase of anger and confusion because they got too comfortable. They got their feet kicked up, so it's about time you kick them down. Metaphorically. To all you 13, 14, or 15-year-olds on PS3 chat, Skype, Ubu, or any video chatting site pretending to be 17 or 18, y'all are not slick, and the reason you do so is very whack, to attract other males and females. That sounds pretty familiar. The thirst. Just live your life and be glad that you're young. There's no point of putting up a front, because we're not stupid, and eventually, you're going to get caught. So please, don't screw yourself over. Stay in your lane. To all of you people going around starting fights, acting like gangsters and thugs for no reason, that is extremely whack. You have better sense than that. Go do something productive with your life. Going around like you run the streets is not. That can actually get you in jail, and it has. Believe me, I know. Not that I have done those things. I hope you weren't thinking that. The fact that people don't want to hang with you because you don't do all those crazy things should tell you something. It should tell you that you don't need them, that you can have as much fun without them as you apparently would with them. So please, don't drive yourself in the wrong way, because you don't know if they did themselves. Parents, in this generation, what do you expect your children to say when you're just cursing and saying all that bad stuff right in front of their face, and they are forced to listen to it? They will follow you in your footsteps, and you're setting the example, so set a good one, not just physically, but verbally as well, even for your unborn. Those people that don't ever want to listen to your ideas could be missing out on something great. Your idea can make their idea look like a mistake. Your idea could have the potential to change the world. So if they don't want to listen, tell it to someone who does. This is why you should always keep your ears open for ideas. If you know someone who considers you a friend but never had an actual conversation with you, who only comes to you when they need things, you're not their friend. They only consider you one simply because you give them things. They use you in a polite way, so make sure to tell the difference between a friend and a friend. See what I did there? Whoever thinks it's okay for someone to take someone else's belongings without their approval are complete idiots. And the worst part about it is when they think they're slick. Oh hey, I'll just pretend that my wallet isn't here and that someone took it. I mean, it is here, I'm just pretending that... Never mind, you understand. Subject 3. Media. We live in a generation where news channels tell you about bad things that happen as if we're supposed to do something about it. Where someone commits a crime against a person but is seen as innocent when another person comes in and tells the reason as to why they did it. Where people let TV and internet determine their emotion towards an event that happened. Where people won't give rappers or singers a chance simply because they're not famous. Where people are actually influenced by the crap they see on TV. Where people will forget what they have and buy something new just because they saw it on TV and it looks great. Where Hollywood is taking old movies and re-releasing them in 3D just because they're running out of ideas. Where people actually believe that the world will end. To be honest, I personally don't think the news should share certain things like someone getting their car stolen or a house is on fire but nobody was killed or injured, because I feel like they want our feedback. But hey, how about less sharing and more doing? Then maybe we might see a decrease in those events. But hey, I don't know, it's just me talking. Now, it doesn't matter the reason as to why someone killed a person. It's wrong. It may be legal in some cases, but it's still wrong. Like what George Zimmerman did to Trayvon Martin. Like what happened to the children from Sandy Hook Elementary. Were the people that committed the crime guilty? Of course. And I feel that we should leave it at that. Whenever an event occurs, everyone has the same emotion towards it. But some of those emotions aren't real. They just feel that way because someone else does. So I say that everyone should show their true emotions towards events. People, by not giving underground rappers and singers a chance, do y'all not realize what you're doing to yourselves? You're refusing to challenge your mentality by continuing to listen to whack, meaningless lyrics instead of realistic, meaningful ones. And the worst part about it is that you say they suck when you never heard them before. People, please, don't do this to yourselves. Don't make yourselves look stupid. Give them a chance. They're way better anyways. People, if you have something and it works just as fine, don't go and buy something else or a better version of it just because it looks great. Just like with teams, if your team is good and another team is on top, then you stick with your team, because if you go with the team that's on top, you're a bandwagoner, and really, who wants to be one of those? Oh wait, people do. My bad. No one should be influenced by the stuff they see on TV like violence and lust. That's just entertainment. That shouldn't make them go out and be like that. Just like the hood. If you grow up in the hood, that shouldn't mean you should act like you're from the hood. Because your environment should not change you. You should stay true to your original mindset. But then again, our generation. Hollywood, what the flip is up with y'all taking old movies and making them 3D? Why is it that you're running out of ideas? What you should be doing is making movies into things that already exist, such as comic books, novels, books, or did I say that? Cartoons, video games, that should be great. But then again, I'd rather see old movies in 3D than most of the stuff y'all make now. Whoever believes, or even worse, still believes that the world will end on December 21st, 2012 needs a new brain, because they're putting their trust in man rather than a man upstairs. Only he knows the time, and the 21st is not the time. It's in the Bible. Well, there you have it, the generations. Subscribe to my channel. Do the things that you normally wouldn't do. Like, rate, comment, share. There's no reason not to. Oh, and RoboCop says hi.